Hello, hello. Today is April 5th, 2023, and the word of the day is masculine. And the card of the day is Seven of Cups in reverse. And the other day I talked about the feminine, and today I'm going to be discussing the masculine and how it relates to the feminine and how it all really works together. And I mentioned in my previous video that we have both the feminine and the masculine within us. And so as the masculine is the action taker, the goal oriented. And when the masculine is not connecting, so the masculine is the mind, the feminine is the heart, the emotions, the feelings, the intuition. The masculine is more about reason and logic and needs to plan, while the feminine is just like, let's just go there. And so when the masculine is not listening to its emotions, so this could be in a woman or a man. So a man that's not tuning in to his emotions, or a woman that's not tuning into her emotions, her feelings, is I don't know if I want to say wounded, but like an unhealthy way. It's like not the complete way to be fully conscious as a human being. So a masculine that would neglect his emotions in a male or female. So I'm talking about both genders here. So let me just make that clear. But I'm going to speak of the masculine as a male, but in reality, it exists in both of us. So a masculine that is making choices without taking into consideration how they feel can appear like rash and domineering and not thoughtful of other people's feelings. And rightfully so, because a healthy masculine, a connected masculine, would be taken into consideration the feelings and making choices and taking action from that place. And an unhealthy one would just shut down those feelings and emotions. Usually we see this with power driven business women or businessmen. They are goal oriented and they're all about profits, while the person that's connected to both their masculine and feminine, not only are they in tune with their feelings and taking action, so they are concerned about the well-being of the people as well as the profits. So it's two things. It's inclusive instead of exclusive. And I wanted to say, some of the things that the masculine does is it's giving. The feminine receives. And so if you find yourself giving, 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 that you might be in your masculine energy. And then if you're always receiving, 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 you might be in your feminine energy. The goal is balance. And so some of the ways that the masculine within us can be turned off is we're critical, we're controlling. And these two things, there's another one. It's controlling, critical. I can't remember the other one, but so basically when we have these identities that are not healthy playing out in us, we tend to not follow through on our projects. We are indecisive. We can't take action to have the experience to decide of whether this was like good for us or bad for us. So we get stuck, if you will. And doing today's reading, like I really learned a lot about how they work within us and how the masculine really has to play within the feminine, and the feminine has to play within the masculine for us to be like not whole and complete. We are whole and complete. To be functioning at our optimal level, to be functioning at our potential. So whenever one of these aspects of us is not in its full wellness, its full health, our lives suffer, our relationships suffer, because we are not being in balance, and therefore we're not projecting that balance outward in our energy field, first of all, and then in how we are behaving towards the people in our lives. How are we are relating. So when our relationship within ourselves with the masculine is not in its potential, operating in its full potential, it affects our relationships with women and men. And it's especially noticeable in our romantic relationships. So being in alignment with your healthy masculine and knowing how that works, and being in touch with the healthy feminine and knowing how that works. And basically, I mean, the basic of it, I mean, this is like a deep dive study. I maybe one day will teach a course on it because I love this so much. And basically, the feminine is all about feelings, intuition. The masculine is all about taking action, reason, and logic. And so in order for these two aspects of ourselves to work like closely with one another and in unison with one another, when we're thinking about a project, for example, we want to think, how do I feel about this? And what do I think about this? So having your heart connected to your mind is basically the unlocking of the channel of the masculine and feminine. You want to be connected to your heart and to your mind when you're discussing things, making decisions. And of course, this takes like healing, this takes work. So it's not like this just comes automatically to us, because we don't live in a world where people are operating in their perfect feminine and masculine balance, right? So we have people either like that are in their feelings, they're just emotional, and they're spiritual, and there's no action connected to their spirituality. They live in the spiritual world. And there's people who are like just action takers, and they just want nothing to do with the spirituality, nothing to do with emotions. It's just like dry, clear cut. This is how it needs to be done. No feelings about it. And really the alignment with the masculine and feminine is always taking your heart and your mind and contemplating from that place. It's like, how do I feel about this? And what do I think about this? But ultimately, we can make decisions, of course, with where we're at. However, to go deeper and to be more clear and to see the areas of our lives that are not as we would have them be, more work would be needed, of course, right? So like if you're struggling with some areas of your life, working and cleaning up the masculine or the feminine aspect and bringing them in a union that is harmonious and that is positive for your life to really make the best of your life and mirror that healthy masculine, healthy feminine that is one within themselves. And I feel that when those two parts are in harmony, like there is a marriage between them, that's when you have an amazing marriage outside of that, a romantic relationship outside of that, because basically you know yourself both on a feminine level and a masculine level. And so you're projecting that as your match. And of course, if you are in a marriage, when you clean up these things, what happens is your partner will either elevate, like ascend to your energy, or they'll move out because ultimately you're on this path of evolution and you're evolving your masculine and feminine. So your decision making, your energy field changes. And how the universe reads that information from you attracts different things to you. And so I really like this topic of the feminine and masculine energy and how they are meant for our highest good. But there's like no teaching about how to use these in your relationship, in your business, at your job, at making choices, decisions for your children. And so I feel like this is like such a great topic to study and actually make a course of. I feel that many people can benefit from learning about their personal masculine and feminine because, you know, the whole, like you are whole and complete as you are. You don't need a man to make you masculine. You don't need a woman to make you feminine. You have both the masculine and feminine energies within you to move forward in your life in the way that is unlimited, basically. And so the Seven of Cups in reverse So this is all about decisions. And even though there may be shiny objects in front of you, like many shiny objects, I want to bring it back to making a decision with how you feel, with the emotional, with the practical. And so you're going to take your feelings about, excuse me, you're going to take your feelings about a decision that you have to make, but also you're going to take into the logical aspects. So, for example, I'm considering enrolling in this program that is pretty shiny. Now, my feminine is like all about it. And my masculine, of course, wants to know the logical aspects of it. Like, how does this work? Like, what's the outcome? The outcome oriented, that's masculine. and also the financial implications. So that would be like the masculine, because the masculine is going to be giving the money and the feminine is going to be receiving this program. And so for me, I would have to meditate, feel into this program, even on a deeper level, see the financial implications on my bank account of investing in this program and make a decision from there. So it's not like cut off my feelings, just buy the program because it's going to work. That would be like short term. This card is all about long-term decision. This card is all about following your heart and mind, following your soul, following your inner guidance. It may not look like anybody else's, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for your truth. What do you resonate with? What path do you need to take? And this requires connecting with your heart and mind. So you're not making a decision based on emotions, and you're not making a decision exclusively through your mind. You're making a decision, a heart-mind connection. And one of the ways that I will do this is probably like, I will look at all the aspects of it. And then by meditating, by journaling, by contemplating, and not making a quick decision, because this has to do with my own personal guidance, meaning just because everyone's buying a Tesla doesn't mean the Tesla is the right car for me. It's really important to know what path is right for you, even when everyone else seems to be doing something. It really takes discipline to step back and consult your heart and mind to see not what everybody else is telling you to do, but what is it that you want? Like, take out all the shiny objects, all the noise, all the things that would draw you to choosing something, and check in with yourself. Is this really what I want to do? And that is not always easy because there is so much noise. And so that's why I do take the time to contemplate and meditate and journal and look at all the facets before I pull the trigger. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you today. I hope that this serves you well, and I hope to connect with you tomorrow. Have a great evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you're at in the world, and I will see you soon. Bye.